Tim Ridley Show. Joining me on the other side of these messages will be Kelly Maddock and Jackie McManus, co-founders of KJ Media. We'll be discussing driver retention, connecting with drivers, and honesty. All that's coming up in just a bit. This is Tim Ridley, Sirius XM 146. Right now, it's time for us to go and visit with Kelly and Jackie. And by the way, we'll be opening up the phone lines as well for you to weigh in with your thoughts on how companies rather, can better improve to actually improve driver retention issues, to be able to hold on and to retain the good drivers that they have. But we'll be opening up the phone lines a little bit later on. But right now, Kelly, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you, Tim?
Doing great. How are you doing this morning?
Very well, thank you.
Well, good. Jackie, good morning to you as well.
Good morning, Tim. How are you this morning?
I'm doing wonderful, and you two sound like you are very up and alert and vibrant this early in the morning.
We are. We're ready to go.
Well, that's great. We're going to be talking about something that is a very, very much needed topic to discuss in the trucking industry, and Kelly, you and Jackie know all too well. But first, before we discuss those issues right there, those topics, let's talk about what you two do.
Sure. So just a little bit about Jackie and myself. We've worked in the transportation industry for about 10 years. And before we started KJ Media, which is our marketing company that helps companies recruit and retain drivers, we worked for a staffing company. And that's where we saw the huge need for marketing within the industry. And then we also run a website called Trucking Gets Social, which is dedicated to the drivers. It's a job board. It has videos. It's blogs. It's a place where drivers can go and find news and updates on the industry. So, our overall goal is to really be a big resource for the drivers and really have a place for them to be valued and appreciated.
And Jackie, do you find, and I know that you and Kelly have been in this industry for about 10 years, as Kelly just mentioned, but do you find that being a real big problem in this industry?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're really trying to bridge the gap between carriers and drivers and really, hone in on the communication piece. One of the biggest, reasons why there is this driver retention issue, I believe it's at, plus 100% at this point, is because there is a lack of communication between carriers and drivers. And really with online social media and the tools that the World Wide Web has given us today, carriers are really able now to speak directly to drivers to show them their core values and exactly what the driver's doing on the road.
So Jackie, it's all about connecting. You're mentioning communication, but connecting with the drivers as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's taking that honest approach so that, carriers can connect with the drivers, and likewise, that drivers can connect with each other. And, one of the biggest resources or one of the biggest avenues that carriers actually receive new driver applications is through word of mouth. So when drivers connect with fellow drivers and they're able to, shed light on what the actual job is, they're more apt to apply to that position. And so with social media, it really has become the new word of mouth for truckers and for carriers.
Which is a lot different than 10 years prior to now, isn't it?
Absolutely. And, Tim, when we were at the staffing company, one of the challenges that we faced was trying to get drivers to work for a driver staffing company because, we really, at the end of the day, everybody wants to be a full-time employee. Nobody wants to work for a staffing company. So we really had to sell them on why they should work for a staffing company. So what we did and how we were able to really, communicate this to the drivers and, illustrate why they should work for the temp company was we ran a great social media campaign that really showed the core values of the company. We had driver testimonials from drivers that had worked with us. We used safety videos. We implemented an email marketing campaign. We ran programs, reward programs within the company and externally to really draw the drivers in and keep the drivers that we had there as well. And it all comes back to being honest and communicating with them and making everybody feel as though they're part of the team.
Kelly, do you feel that with each generation of drivers that we have, Do you feel that there's a unique way in connecting, just like now with what Jackie was just mentioning about the social media and email marketing and so forth? Do you think that it's hard for some companies to release the old-fashioned way of doing things and then to embrace the new way of doing things to reach another generation of drivers?
I do feel that is a challenge, and that's Jackie and I's goal, is to help eliminate that problem, to really show companies how important it is to utilize online marketing and social media to communicate with the drivers, so they're able to connect with the drivers through online marketing and social media. It's a unique way of advertising to them. They're able to be consistent with the driver. They're really able to be honest, especially if you have testimonials from current drivers or a message from the CEO or president. There's some honesty there. And then also they're really able to recruit the family and friends through the use of social media too. So you're able to get the family involved in the site, and you're able to communicate that to them as well.
Which is extremely important, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And you mentioned being honest, the honesty, that goes a long way, because all it takes is one time for someone within the company to be dishonest, be it a dispatcher or operations manager or whoever, to just blow the whole thing. I mean, no one wants to be lied to or misled.
Absolutely. And, we did work with a company in the Northeast and helped them with their recruiting department. And the biggest issue we were finding there is that the dispatchers and the recruiters were not being honest with the drivers about what the exact job entailed. So they'd come in and work for a day and quit because they weren't disclosed to full what the job really entailed. So they weren't being fully honest with the drivers.
All right. Well, it's 43 past the hour. We're going to open up our phone lines at 615-292-6366. If you have a question with Kelly and or Jackie with KJ Media. This is Tim Ridley. We'll be back just on the other side of these messages. You're listening to us on Highway 146, Sirius XM Satellite Radio. Discussion of driver retention. Give us a call at 615-292-6366. We'll go to the phone lines in just a bit, but first, Jackie, do you find that in terms of trucking companies that you've dealt with, do you find that well, let me ask you this way: as far as drivers, the complaints, do you find the complaints being treated fairly outweighs the pay in terms of staying or not staying with a company?
Yeah, I mean, pay is obviously a number one issue for driver turnover, right? But when you look at it, it's very competitive in the industry. So maybe you go to a company that's right next door, and they may offer a different sign-on bonus, right? But really it comes down to the honesty. So, we were talking about 10 years ago how really the online ads and marketing have changed. 10 years ago, it was black and white newspaper ads. We're offering this, this, and this. And now with drivers using social media and these online marketing tools, companies are not only able to connect and become honest, but there's more of an emotional buy-in that carriers need to portray to the drivers. So absolutely it's pay, and I think that will always be an issue. But carriers are becoming a little bit more creative in trying to emotionally connect with the drivers, because once they're emotionally connected to a company, they're less likely to leave, to go to the company next door just for a couple of cents difference.
Right. Understood. Yeah, understood. And Kelly, do you, as far as listening, as far as a company listening, that weighs in a lot too. That weighs in pretty heavily as well, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's very important. And that's it. And that's why social media is a great tool for that. It's another way for the drivers to communicate, what they're feeling, get their opinions out there, and, to get responses from the company as well. So communication is huge too.
Absolutely. All right, let's go to the phone lines. And Tonka is with us, our first caller. And Tonka is in Illinois. Good morning. You're live on the show with Kelly and Jackie.
Hey, how y'all doing this morning?
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, I got the experience I've had with the driver retention deal is the company I'm least purchased with. I was, me and this one other driver, we were on a load for over a month. Just an oversized load, trying to get it up to Canada and everything. And it came to the point where, we're starting to, I know on my end, I was starting to Friday, I stopped at our facility. I finally got out of around the Canadian border. Stopped there. They're having their company barbecue, and I wound up talking to the vice president of the company and the owner, and sat down and meeting with them. And let's just say my term payment's been taken care of. Money's been going to the house. You know, the owner of our company, he was a driver, so he understands. You know, he drove a truck for 14 years for starting up this company, and they've taken care of his pay. You know, you're never going to get the pay that you want. You know, everybody wants more money, but it's, in my opinion, it's the way they take care of you, it's the way they treat you. And we have an actual department within our company. It's called our driver retention department. They call you once a month and see how you're doing. They talk to you. If you have a legitimate complaint, they'll address it.
Absolutely. And you know, making you feel part of the family, like, and making you feel as though they care. And just like you said, you know, the owner was a driver. You know, those are key components that all companies need to implement, you know, really making you feel part of the family and the team.
Yeah, and the ability to really be able to sit down and have the opportunity, you know, to speak to the owner. That's huge, you know, and you're able to sit down, share a burger, and really get to know him. And, you know,
and I've been,
go ahead.
I've been with this company for a year and a half. I've already paid off one truck.
That's awesome.
And I'm on my second truck with this company, and I'm telling you, we're another company that does word of mouth. You know, I mean, I found them on Craigslist.
Wow! Congratulations! It sounds like you're doing very well with them.
Oh, I am, and like I said, I'm happy. I had a few speed bumps I had to go over the winter months, but I got those addressed, and now I'm back. We're back on track, and back making good money.
And that's awesome. Glad to hear that you're making great money and that they have a great retention program in place.
Well, we appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah. All right, Tim. Y'all have a great day.
You too. Be safe out there, buddy. All right, we're going to bring pause just for a second. Bring Jamie Lynn in. She has a tornado warning to tell you about. Jamie, good morning, and thank you for. Well, actually, she'll be on in just a bit. She just picked up another line, but she'll be on in just a little bit. There is a tornado warning in Illinois, but she'll give you the details on it. In the meantime, we'll go to Lucky, who is in Tennessee. Lucky, good morning to you.
Good morning, Tim, and ladies. How are y'all?
Good morning, Lucky.
How's everything?
Wonderful. How about yourself?
If I got any better, I couldn't stand it. I just wanted to say, you know, a good thing on that would be benefits, you know, and, benefits for drivers, you know, because a lot of guys would change jobs for better benefits and good insurance. That's something's hard to find out there right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely a great benefit program, you know, that's invaluable, and that's definitely something a lot of companies really need to start implementing and looking into as well, making sure they have great benefits to offer to the drivers.
Well, I know I would take something with a lower pay with better benefits and more of a family oriented than what is normally doing, you know, now. Anyway, and everybody that you talk to is looking out for, we're all out here to make it for our family. And our kids and our grandkids, and that's what we're out here for. And if I got better benefits like days off or something like that, I would take less pay, and I think everybody that I talk to would do the same thing.
Absolutely. Well, you know what, Lucky, we actually run a website, Trucking Gets Social, and later this afternoon we're going to be running a survey on the site about, key retention benefits and key retention assets that you guys feel work. So if you would sign up and register for that, we'd love to get your feedback.
Yes, give me your website, and I got my crayon out, so I'll write it down.
Okay, it's Trucking Get Social.
Get Social?
Yep. So the survey will be up later this afternoon because we really want to hear from the drivers and get your feedback and hear what's working so we can convey it to our customers as well.
Is it .com or .net or
.com.
Google it?
Nope.
.com?
.com. Yep.
And we will give that information out again, too, before we sign off the air, Lucky.
All right, I appreciate it. I just thought I'd throw my little 2 cents worth in there to see if it'd help. And I will take your survey this evening.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank
Okay,
you,
we
Lucky.
appreciate you throwing your 2 cents. I'll say it was probably about maybe 95 cents you threw in there, buddy.
There you go. Well, all right, thank y'all. See you, Tim. Have
All
a
right,
good day.
Lucky. Be safe, brother. Okay, well, we got Jamie with us to tell us about that tornado before we get to Tom. Tom, hang in there. We'll be coming after you in just a little bit. Jamie, all right, take it away.
Well, actually, Tim, that's incorrect. The tornado warning was the one in Louisiana, like you talked about before, but this is actually a crash report. It's Illinois,
okay. Gotcha.
I-57 North, mile marker 55. There's a crash in construction, and it's 2 miles backed up already. It is not moving. The road is closed. So Illinois, I-57 North at mile marker 55. There's a crash up ahead in the construction.
Okay, thank you there, Jamie. Certainly appreciate you. All right, let's go to Tom. Tom is in Illinois. Tom, good morning. You're live on the show with Kelly and Jackie.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Tom.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat this, but the big issue is pay. Pay, benefits, and home time for me. They say the national average pay for a truck driver is, what, $30,000 a year? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's bad. It's terrible. Number one issue, pay. Where I work for a private fleet. Of course, private fleets are disappearing left and right, and common carriers are taking them over. But that's the number one issue is pay, benefits, and home time.
No,
Every
absolutely.
driver out here, we can work 70 hours a week. Every driver out here should be making between $75,000 and $85,000 a year.
Well, I couldn't agree more with you. The jobs that you guys do are extremely tough jobs, and I think that America as a whole needs to really understand and appreciate and value all that you guys do for us, because we would not be where we are today without truck drivers. So I agree that pay is definitely an issue and needs to be increased as well.
And it's true. America runs on trucking, and part of Kelly and I's goal is really to bring awareness to the industry. Nowadays, there's awareness on, the Googles of the world and the tech industry, but really a lot of these companies wouldn't thrive without truck drivers. And, that's why we run Trucking Get Social, and we've developed partnerships with different products and services to offer discounts to drivers. And by taking, the survey that we're going to have live on our website later on, it's a perfect way for us to be able to survey drivers nationally and convey this to our carriers, because they really need to hear you speak, because again, America runs on trucking.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, with that pay, it's going to be up to the company to pay what they want to
Absolutely.
pay. It's not going to be the federal government. It's not going to be no one else.
Mm-hmm.
It's strictly going to be the company.
Right.
So that's my comment on all this stuff, man.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
but
thank you.
until
Go
then,
ahead.
that's going to be it's going to be a problem, and it has been for a while. Our point and our objective is to have carriers, at least until then, value the driver, because that's another reason why drivers leave to go to the company next door, is because they may have had a fight with the dispatcher. They were lied to about what the actual job was. The sign-on bonus was actually stretched out over 5 years, not a year. And so if they're able to at least value the driver and value you, you're more likely not going to feel as bad about being on the road each and every day, only making whatever the national average is. But at least you're able to connect with your internal team at the companies.
That's right. Well, Tom, thank you so much, buddy, and you have a fine day.
Yeah, you too.
All right. And Kelly and Jackie, thank you so much. And let me give out that website. It's kjtransmedia.com.
No, actually, the website that we have Trucking Get
Trucking
Social.
Get
That's
Social?
where it's going to be. The survey will be posted. So
Okay.
truckinggetsocial.com.
All right. For the survey, it'll be truckinggetsocial.com.
Yep, and that's our website that's dedicated to the drivers. So there's a job board on there, there's blogs, there's videos. It's all about that. There's membership benefits for them. So that's the website for the drivers.
Okay, good deal. And this is where you guys come in at as far as moving into the future, showing appreciation to the drivers, because sometimes companies get set in their old ways and the same thing that they did 40, 50, 60 years ago, they think it's going to continue to work in today's time, and it doesn't.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Right.
Thank you so much, Tim, for having us on the show.
Thank you. You two have a wonderful day.
You too. Well, bye-bye.
All right. Well, Kelly and Jackie with KJ Transmedia. And again, that website is truckinggetsocial.com. Go to that website and take that survey today. And it's all about getting the treatment that you deserve, the respect that you deserve for the job that you do. And, of course, get the pay that you deserve as well. Well,